Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cliff Freeman, and I'm coming to you today with a very heavy heart with regard to what's going on with the coronavirus. And I have an extremely important video that I would ask you to watch immediately following this. And I am just very concerned about the state of things for the economy, the real estate economy. And in particular, if you are one of us, if you're an agent out there who's looking at uncertainty, maybe your office is closed, you're not hearing from your leadership. It's a very telling time. We're potentially looking at unemployment spiking up to 20% as a result of what's going on. And as you may recall, in the past, if you've been through these cycles before, you know that house prices fall dramatically and they come back very slowly. So my friends, Gene Frederick, Rob Flick, Scott Lewis, and Brent Gove are going to discuss what's going on right now and what potentially could happen, the outcome of this terrible situation, this pandemic that we're all suffering from right now, either economically. Hopefully you don't have the sickness, but I would ask that you take some time and watch this interview. And particularly, as I said, if you're one of those agents who maybe you haven't been through one of the cycles before that we're about to dive into, there's a lot of terrific information in here that will be vital to you coming out on the right side of this. So I'm going to turn this over to the guys now, and thank you for watching.
All right, this is Brent Gove. I'm from Sacramento, California. I've been in real estate since 1996. Spent my first 12 years at RE/MAX, loved it. Spent 8 years at Keller Williams, loved it. And been here at the last 3 years and 4 months at eXp Realty, and life-changing, mind-blowing, loved it. So that's my background, that's my story. Married 29 years with 7 children, and life is good.
I'm Gene Frederick from Palmas, Puerto Rico. And I've been in the business since 1984. Most of you weren't alive then, but I've been around since 1984 in this business. RE/MAX in the 80s, Realty Executives in the early 90s as a regional and office owner, and then was with Keller Williams for 21 years. And I've been with eXp now for 5 years. And I'm very excited to talk to you today because I think I've got some perspective of what's about ready to happen to us.
My name is Rob Flick, and I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. I got into real estate. I was in the Navy, Naval Academy, was in the Navy, got out of the Navy, got into real estate in 1983, got you by 1 year, Gene, and started with Coldwell Banker Commercial. Ended up getting cancer, nearly dying, lost everything, and went bankrupt. I was top 20 U.S. for Coldwell Banker at that time. And while I was in the hospital, I had this driving desire to develop a residual income. When I found out that I couldn't work for not just a little time, but several years, I had no income actively, and I began a passionate search for developing passive income streams. Joined Keller Williams, was in Arizona, moved back to Arizona to recuperate, live or die. When it looked like I was going to make it, I was with Realty Executives in Arizona. I was mostly a listing agent. I like that. And then I saw Keller in 1996, joined it in 1997, and was with them for 6 years, was a regional owner, as well as owning parts of 6 franchises, and very instrumental in the growth that they had, getting them to the largest real estate company. Retired from them about 13, 14, 15 years ago. Gene is the fellow that showed me eXp. I tried to avoid him, but he was pleasantly persistent and showed me the presentation about 5 years ago. Tried to get our license because I had been out of the real estate industry for quite a while. But I saw this as a way that others could get free, not just me. I was able to create in Keller a multiple 6-figure income residual through their profit sharing. And now at eXp, it's more than 20 times bigger. I think closer to 25 times bigger. I appreciate you, Gene, having the patience to show me. And I've been with eXp now about 4 years and 3 months.
That's awesome. My name's Scott Lewis, and I also live here in Puerto Rico. I was born in West Texas on a cotton farm, and I was very quickly a serial entrepreneur. Built several marketing companies years ago, and I got into real estate as an investor. Bought a franchise model in San Antonio, Texas, and that was my beginnings in real estate. I saw EXP 4.5 years ago and made the transition. I recognized then that EXP really had a shot at being, you know, a very valid concept. And even though there was only about 600 agents at the time, I think we're 27,000 now. Was the first agent to join EXP in San Antonio. And I believe EXP now is the second largest real estate brokerage in San Antonio. So that being said, let's get started, guys. I know you guys are excited and chomping at the bit to talk about all things real estate, but let's start with just talking about the general thing that's on everybody's mind right now, and what's going on out there, and the fear that's kind of, you know, in the marketplace now. Gene, why don't you start?
Well, I think I have good perspective on this, mainly because, guys, when I got in the business in 1984, really quickly, in 1985, August of 1985, oil and savings and loans in Texas died. When I say died, the industries died. And within 3 years, half of the realtors in the state of Texas got out of the business. When you feel a market stop like that, it's even worse than 2008, 2009, 2007, if you guys went through that recession. So what I'm trying to give is a little perspective today is that we made it through that, Scotty.
Yep.
We made it through that. I tell people for 3 years, I did not show a home with furniture in it.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
There was not a home in Dallas, Texas that sold for over $1 million, 3 years.
Wow.
That's when the Dallas Cowboys got sold. Why? Because he had to. So the rich of the rich were. Now I say that because I think I have perspective on this. Agents, you're going to have to learn new scripts. We've been through 8 years of an upturn, right? 2012 till now. I talked to agents that got in the business 5 years ago. They go, man, this is great. It's awesome. I said, cool. Have you ever called an expired? No. We don't have expireds. Have you ever knocked on a FSBO's door? No, we've never had a FSBO. What are you talking about? The difference in markets, it's just scripts. And when I say scripts, you're going to learn how to do things that you've never done before. Your listing presentations are going to be different. Anybody take a year listing but me? I used to take year listings, guys. And everybody goes, no, they're 3 months. They're 4 months. I said, no. I signed them to 12-month listings because guess what? That's how long it took to sell. So what I want to assure everybody, we've been through these markets. I've been through 3 of them. The one in the 80s I described to you was the very worst, by the way. I mean, really worse than even the last recession we were in. What this reminds me of, Scotty and Rob, is the fact that this has hit us. 2 weeks ago, I was not talking about a virus. 3 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, we were in Mexico at a great event. We weren't talking about a virus. When something like this hits, I feel, and I want us to discuss it, I knew that EXP was going to be the safe haven for real estate agents. In other words, I knew, I was hoping it wasn't a virus, but I knew if some economic downturn happened, we would survive like crazy because we have the model that's going to survive.
Gene, that's a great point. Can I chime in on that?
You bet.
Like this week, all of our classes went on as scheduled. I saw other companies like the office is locked, the doors are locked. Please do not come in. Stay at home. We had all of our classes this week in the world. We didn't miss a beat. Everybody on this call, you can download the world, build an avatar, and attend our listing classes, our buyer pro classes. We have classes on how to survive in the market right now. In California, we're having our sellers videotape and take pictures of their own home, send it to us. We're already posting it online. And we are selling homes right now virtually. People are buying, no, they won't do that. They are buying homes right now. And we're teaching you how to do this in the cloud. Yesterday, I was able to speak on stage at our company meeting. I don't know how many company meetings you think took place on a Friday in North America from other brokerages. And we're not picking on them, but there were no company meetings. We had over 700 people in the auditorium. Their avatars. It was virtual, completely safe. I'm telling you, we haven't missed a beat. That's why I love Scott Lewis. He came up with, we were built for this. He's not talking about the four of us. It's not the four of us were built to build EXP, although that may be true. And I believe this is what I was called to do. But we're talking about we as in EXP Realty was built for this moment. Everybody else is freaking out. I saw one manager just go, I don't know what we're going to do. And this is one of the most prominent companies. We're just going to post some stuff in Facebook and we're going to figure this out. And we're going to figure out how to do everything virtual. They didn't have, because we're going to fit there. So we started 10 years ago. So I just want to throw that in. You're right, Gene. It's a 10-year, it is what it is. We got in this space 10 years ago.
And Brent, you hit the nail on the head, and Gene as well. You know, we were built for this, and I'd love to dig into that a little bit deeper and you know, talk about our model versus, we'll just call it the old-fashioned model, or some people might call it the brick and mortar model, whatever you want to call it. We've all seen transitions. We've all seen things happen quickly, something disrupt an industry, but we've never seen a disruption happen this quickly. I mean, this is like, it's 85 degrees outside and you're laying by the pool and all of a sudden that winter blizzard hits you in the head. And it's like, oh my God, where did that come from? And that's what we're living in right now. But yet EXP has been building for this for years, thanks to our founder, Glenn Sanford, who had the foresight many years ago to structure this and put it together. And so Robbie, I'd love to hear your perspective on that and how we're different. And I think you coined the phrase, the safe haven for realtors. Why is that?
Well, I believe that from my experience, having been a cancer survivor and having been able to produce up until one day, and then one day I couldn't produce for what turned out to be several years, I've always thought of having and developing a safety net. I've always thought of having and developing leverage. I've always thought about having residuals or a passive income stream. And I believe that this is going to take some time. It's going to be months, many months. It may even be a year and a half as this goes through. We don't know. We're seeing it as it unfolds every day. But I believe that you should build your safety net. And what that means is to build an organization as big as you possibly can, letting know that when the market comes back, if you have a large organization or a revenue share team, as we call it, you're going to make the money back faster than you ever have in your life, in my opinion. When realtors have time, so to speak, to listen, people are open to, wow, we never saw this coming. We didn't know we could get affected this way. And I've been talking for 20 years about developing a residual, developing a passive income, paying things off, not getting overextended, owning your home outright, having no debt, having 6 months to a year at least of emergency money, so that if anything happened and your income stopped, you'd still continue on, and developing a residual. I've had surgeries in the past where I've ended up in the hospital for weeks at a time. And if I hadn't had residuals set up from having built Keller and especially having built EXP, I wouldn't have made it through there. Our family would have been wiped out. And so I believe, as you said, we were totally made for this. EXP was made for a virtual society. And now what we're learning is how important being virtual is. I love to talk about, the safety aspects of this virus going on now and how to protect yourself to a point. But we are learning how important being virtual is. As Brent said, our company continued on without a hitch. We were able to, we don't have physical offices. We have virtual offices. Everyone attends as an avatar, and we can have thousands of people in the meeting. We can have hundreds. We can have individual discussions. We can have team meetings. We can have area meetings, we can have specialty meetings that are going on all the time. We are, in my opinion, the safe haven for realtors, because when we come out of this, I believe the real estate industry is going to be changed in a very big way. We don't know how it's going to be changed, but we can be an instrument of that change. If we bring people to us and expose what we're all about, to know that, like I can't do anything now. I'm in Puerto Rico. We're in complete lockdown. We're not allowed to leave our house. But I have over 11,000 agents on my revenue share team that are not in that same position throughout the United States, Canada, England, Newfoundland, and Australia. And they're still able to do business currently, right? So I still have income coming in enough to feed my family and pay my bills. And I didn't know this was coming. I prepared the net while I was, out there producing, if you will. And I think that's what we're going to be able to do. And I think the more that we get out, we're going to have these talks on a weekly basis. I think every Saturday morning, the four of us have decided we may get another person or two. I believe we probably should do that as a guest speaker as well every Saturday, to give people a chance to see what is available, what's happening, what's going on in the world, how we see it, how other people see it, and what we're doing to create that safe haven for real estate agents. So when we come out of this, and it will pass, it will be different when we get done. We'll look at things different. Like my parents looked at things differently after the Great Depression. They saved everything that ever existed. I can't believe how many empty mayonnaise jars I found in their house, that they were saving. They virtually saved everything. And so we're going to come out with a different mindset, but we're going to help develop what that is. And if we're positive and we're upbeat, we know, yes, it may be difficult now, but in building that large organization, I believe it's going to happen. I believe we'll have more people join EXP than have ever joined before. I think this is going to propel us way beyond, like what Brent said. Other offices are closing. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it. They're not prepared to be able to talk while people are in lockdown. It doesn't change us. Like Brent says, people can take videos and pictures of their houses and send it to us virtually. We can put it on our platform. We can have meetings and trainings about that, which we are going to have and we are going to implement. I think, not to say that this is a great thing, but I think I can tell you that we have a chance, you who are listening to this and who are members of EXP, have a chance literally to completely reinvent the real estate industry over the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. I believe that's coming. I believe we can do it. I believe every one of you can be an instrument for change for the positive. And I'm very excited going forward, but we also have to do it being safe and being very healthy. Yes. and knowing exactly what to do and what not to do.
I know yesterday I was on stage at our company meeting, didn't miss a beat, and Glenn Sanford was on stage with Dave Kennard, our president, Jason Gessing, our CEO, and Stacy Onen, our president of brokerage operations. And he announced, extend a hand. We're going to put over $1 million into there and start giving relief to our most at-risk agents, our older agents, our maybe moms that are single agents with babies. We are going to bring financial relief to you. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. So really thumbs up to Glenn Sanford and our executive team for extend a hand at EXP Realty. We are going to reach out. If we got to buy groceries, if we got to buy diapers and formula, if we need to put a tire on your car, we're going to do the things we can do out of compassion. I'm excited about giving generously. I know everybody here on the call is. By the way, yesterday in the world, and this is a very serious thing, but it was packed. There were people everywhere. We don't have to be locked out. Accounting department fully up and running, technology up and running, because we are 700 employees at EXP that work full time are already working from home offices. So we're able to keep productive and not go crazy.
For somebody that's never experienced that at EXP, when they hear you talk about that, I think they're going, well, what does that mean? You go into your accounting department, or what does that look like? And so how would you explain to someone how EXP operates virtually?
Who do you want to take that question?
You take it.
All right. So you build an avatar. I know it sounds weird, but you get one. Get over it. I got over it in 5 seconds. And then you go into accounting and you say, how do you help me? I'm a brand new EXP agent or broker. How do you help me? And then they will say, well, all the stock awards you get, here they are. Here's when they were issued. Here's your 3-year vesting, which I was told would be worthless in 2 years. And since then it's tripled. Then we have a little pullback for $7-8 a share. But I mean, everybody took it like this in the stock world. But still, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars stock with the pullback that I had nothing in 20 years. So accounting's there. Also, I have a closing on 102 Main Street. Is the file complete? Everything look good? They look, oh, you're missing this one, disclosure. You go get that, get it in. Yep, we're good. We've emailed title, given them the green light. They're going to hand you your check at close, or we wire money to your account. Right now, I would recommend wiring money to your account. You don't even have to pick up your checks at EXP. On the day of close of escrow, they wire seller proceeds. They will wire your commission checks straight into your bank account. You don't have to stress out. People are on the razor's edge. There's technology. You're having a problem with your computer here, right? You go in there, they take over your computer. Boop, boop, boop. Now it's got to be related to real estate. If you're a gamer, they're not going to fix your computer so you can play your favorite game during this moment. So there's brokerage operations. Everyone's like, well, how's the brokerage support? It's like the best brokerage support I've ever had in 20 years, 24 years. Give it a break. Oh my gosh. These are the star brokers from RE/MAX and Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and Independence and Century 21 and Sotheby's. These are the best brokers in the world that have come to EXP because they're smart. They didn't listen to their management team. I'll end with this and hand it over. If you are leaving RE/MAX for Sotheby's, RE/MAX is not going to go, wow, that's wonderful. If you are leaving Keller Williams for Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams is not going to go, that is so awesome. It doesn't matter if you're leaving Century 21 for Berkshire Hathaway or Berkshire Hathaway for Christie's. It doesn't matter where you're going. They're never going to, they're going to tell you every reason why it's a terrible idea. Isn't it about time that you checked out EXP for yourself? I mean, Rob Flick retired 10 years ago after selling all the Keller Williams franchises, a ton of them anyway, in like the Western United States. Gene Frederick here was regional owner, had 5, 6, 7 franchises, offices with 500-600 Keller Williams agents, sold it all. He's at EXP. Our man Scott Lewis here is owned and ran one of the largest Century 21 brokerages in the world. I, at one point, was the #1 RE/MAX agent in California for transaction count. We have done well, and we're at EXP. There's a reason we're here. I've been here for a decade. They keep the old number last. It's been a decade. So here's what you do. Here's what you do. If you're watching right now, when this is over, I want you to go to themodelexplained.com. Themodelexplained.com. Watch that later. It's a 35-minute briefing, business briefing, on all the benefits at EXP, what it lays out for agents. It's the reason we went from 1,300 agents to 28,000. It's the reason those 1,300 agent quasi-owners, because we have shares of stock in the company. Glenn Sanford owns the company. I get that. But we have shares of stock in this company that has made me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. So I'll take my quasi-ownership. Very cool. Thank you, Glenn. And then the 1,300 quasi-agent owners turned into 28,000 because we were excited. And then the 28,000, I'm going to say it again, quasi-semi-agent owners, because of the shares of stock we get, we're going to turn into 150,000, then on to 400,000 right here in the US and Canada. 2 million agents. It's going to happen. No one's ever done this. Then you throw in the rev share component. It's crazy. And then after you watch themodelexplained.com, just want to say this one time, call your best friend in real estate. That's who you should call. Whoever's been talking to you about EXP, don't call Rob, don't call Scott, don't call Gene, do not call me. Call the person who's been talking to you about EXP and say, okay, I'm ready to have a discussion about the company. I'm ready to stay in curiosity and really learn the model. You're not leaving your brokerage. You're just going to understand the model. You need to understand the model. You've been fed, spoon-fed garbage and lies about what this company is. This company's about love, about caring, about laying your life down, serving others. And if you do that well, you'll succeed. If you don't, you won't succeed. So if you're not a lover and a giver and a server, this is not the company for you. Enough said. Get me on
in talking with Glenn Sanford last night, one of the things he said and he told us was that most franchises around the country, they don't have a lot of cash reserves. The franchisees, they have like 60 to 90 days. If they don't make money, he said there will be hundreds of franchises, there will be hundreds of boutique real estate offices that will not make it 3, 6, 7, 8 months a year. They're not going to be able to do that. And the agents are going to look for somewhere to go. And if you are out there planting seeds, just like Brent said, send as many people as you can to that website. He did a wonderful job explaining how the system works. And the idea is, no, you want to be loyal to the people who have been talking to you about EXP, the people that have been trying to get your attention, and maybe you have not listened up until this point. You didn't think that you had a reason. Well, now I think you have a reason. And I think every owner of small boutique real estate companies, I believe their eyes might be open. We have a special program for helping convert offices and to have them fold into EXP, 500,000 North America, another 1 million worldwide. I believe you will help build the safe haven, if you will, for realtors. They have to go somewhere, and they just have not had those conversations. The owners generally have probably not told their agents, hey, you know, if we don't have things change in 2 months, we're done. I'm going to have to shut down. And but they're going to be looking for places to go, and it's going to be a mass movement. It isn't just going to be a few people. And I think it's the person that is out there sowing the most amount of seeds in a positive way. Talk to your friends, get them to watch the website, start having discussions with everybody that you can, get your friends to do that, and let them know that EXP is going to continue on. Because we're virtual, we were made for this. We were made for this time, without question. We will have ongoing discussions. We will have training. We'll probably have safety discussions. We'll have new procedures discussions. We'll have, as Gene said, I believe it was Gene, said that it's just all about scripts and dialogues. You just need to know your market. You need to know what's happening and who you're talking to and why, and you're going to become the expert. The EXP people will become the expert. We will have top people in all these fields teaching and training, not just weekly, but I've heard it's pretty much going to be a daily basis, where we will have dozens of classes going on, so that you'll be able to learn and stay abreast of everything new that is coming, everything that is relevant from the top people in the real estate industry, without question.
Gino, I want to circle back to you because you know, I know you're on the board of directors for EXPI. For those that don't know, EXPI is the holding company for EXP Realty. That's EXP World Holdings, and the ticker symbol is EXPI. It's traded on the NASDAQ, and Gene sits on the board for that company, which also owns technology called Virbela. And that Virbela technology is what allows us to be a virtual company. It's what allows us to do what Brent just so eloquently described in getting your avatar and going in there. And you can dance around and get on the motorboats and all that cool stuff. But the great thing is you can do business anywhere you are without the brick and mortar. And, you know, we didn't really talk about that a lot, but the fact that we are eliminating all that, we're talking about billions of dollars across the country that maybe weren't relevant when we're in the peak of the market, but all of a sudden right now it's relevant, right? Every broker of an office is sitting at home going, how am I going to pay the lease on my office? How am I going to pay those utility bills? How am I going to keep my staff that I've been paying? All of those things are going through their head, and we have an answer for that. And so we're not just talking about agents, we're talking about small brokerages across the country that have an opportunity to roll in here and use our technology. But I kind of want to flip it back to you, Gene, and talk about Virbela, because it's not just real estate, right? There's other opportunities, and I know Glenn's working around the clock with getting phone calls from all over the world for people that are wanting to understand how they can use Virbela and that technology for their business. So let's talk about that a minute.
Well, it's very simple, guys. The reason Rob and I, he goes to 1983, I go to 1984. When I saw EXP 5 years ago, I knew it was the future. Guys, I saw a movie this morning because I have nothing to do, quarantined in Puerto Rico, called Paycheck. And if you ever seen it, by Ben Affleck and Irma Thurman, And it's about him seeing the future. It's really funny that I saw this today. It was made in 2007. The reason I know it was made before 2007, because there were no cell phones. There were no iPhones in it, right? But it was like, if you could see the future, what would it be like? When I saw this company 5 years ago, I saw the future. I had a blink. I had a thing where, man, you mean I can go in as an avatar and talk to Glenn every single day? He lives in Seattle and I live in Dallas, Texas. This is cool. And what people didn't realize is having Virbela, this new, and we call it, a disruptive technology, right? If you guys watch Shark Tank like I do, they always say, is it a disruptive technology? Guess what? This is a disruptive technology and we own it. We own Virbela. Hey, by the way, I think you guys noticed South by Southwest got canceled. The NBA got canceled. Events are being canceled, right? Guess what? Our event in April, not canceled. Everybody goes, oh, no, you're not going to Orlando together. I said, oh, no, I know we're not going to Orlando. We're going to have it in our virtual world.
Boom.
This is the best example of showing people we're still going to have all the events.
Right.
We're going to have the breakout sessions. We're going to have the sessions on how to do open houses with masks on. I don't know what we're going to have. You know what I mean? I'm laughing, but it's going to be, and everybody goes, well, no, you canceled your event. I go, no, we didn't. So I've never been able to explain it to people is this way. Life's going to be different. Emotionally, it's going to be different. Our kids, all 7 of yours, Brent, are going to think differently than we do. You know why? Keep your social distance. If you don't think that's going to stick for a while, you think you're crazy. Because right now, we're separating people. If it hasn't happened in your state, it's going to happen. It happened in Puerto Rico a week ago, and we got quarantined. Guess what? I'm just trying to hug my wife. She won't come near me. No, I'm just kidding. So what I'm telling you guys, I knew it. I saw it when it only had 300 agents. But this is the way real estate companies were going to be run. The hardest thing that everybody has to adapt to us is most of them are franchises, right? And if they're franchises, they just have one little owner and they can't do it together. We've had meetings all week as discussions of what we're going to do as a company. We're going to react quicker than everybody else. So Virbela is a big disruptive technology. We have people calling us going, how do I have my meeting? Might be from Amazon. How do I have my meeting? I'd love to have my meeting because I don't want to not have the meeting. Okay. One thing I can say, because I'll just real quick, because I do want to announce this. Agents, there's relief coming. Yahoo Money announced today, and you need to check it out because it didn't happen the last recession, that you do not have to be affected by the virus. You don't have to have it. You could just say, it looks like I have bad economic times, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have relief for 12 months on your mortgage. It's forbiddance. Just so you know, I want to announce to everybody, write it down. You should be doing it. Look up the article. It's not hard. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. Go get help. I'm just talking to real estate agents. You guys are my buddies. We're all self-employed. Guess what? It's not just on your own personal home. It's on an investment property or a second home. I own 3 homes. Well, you're going to go and say, look at this has affected my ability to sell. Because when the market goes down, guess what it does? It goes down quick. I'm just being realistic for everybody. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be better next month. I've been through 4 of these. It goes down quick, then it stays level. It does not do a V. If you go to seminars today and they tell you it's going to be a V, go down quick and go right back up. Yes, they didn't live in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, right? They didn't go through the .com crash that I went through. Now, the U can be shorter. My prediction is this is going to be 1.5 to 3 years, easily. Could be longer.
Gene, we know a lot of real estate agents make more money in the downturn and the upturn. And so I really want to focus on that because you know, we're going to start doing this once a week. We'll have special guests on there every week as we do this. We committed to doing that last night as we were talking. And one of the things we are going to do and are already doing is getting the people that are with us that lived through those times and that built, you know, businesses that thrive during the downturn to coach and mentor and train all of you. So if you're a new agent and you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, what do I do today? It's scary. It is scary. We get that. And agents are looking for a leader right now. They're looking for someone to help them through this process. What do you do right now? What can an agent do right now today to change the course of their future?
Well, I'm going to say this. I was at Villa Sports on Tuesday working out. Talked to the employees. You going to stay open? I'm like, yeah, we're totally open. We're not closing. The next day they were closed. And I believe there's a lot of independent brokerages on the razor's edge right now. Restaurants, different businesses that are already praying to God they're going to make payroll. This is going to put them out of business. Employees will get laid off. There will be agents and brokers going into their company franchises. A friend of mine owned a big one. He couldn't renegotiate with his commercial landlord. They were going to padlock that building Monday morning. And they were there with about 60 of his agents in tears with moving trucks, getting what he could out of his own building before that thing got locked down Monday morning. And so if that's you, if that happens to you, EXP is a safe harbor. Contact one of your friends at EXP, come to us. We're fully up, we're fully operational. I remember 5 months ago talking to a major team leader of a big franchise, big enough to where he was signing a 10-year commercial lease, Gene, and the lease was $55,000 a month for his bricks and mortar. We keep saying bricks and mortar. What we're talking about is leases that are 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month. I've seen them as high as 60, 70,000 a month in Beverly Hills and La Jolla and New York and San Francisco. It is going to be lights out. They're like, well, we'll just lay off all the employees. And then when maybe you'll hire them back, maybe not. They're all trained employees. If you hire back a bunch of new employees and you got to train them, it's so disruptive. And so we're not happy about this. We're not. And we want you to be safe. And we want to actually give you some advice here on how to stay safe. We want you to take it very serious. We want you to coach your teenagers. I have a house full of teenagers. You know, they don't think it's a big deal. And I had to sit them down and go, 0 sleepovers before they shut it down. Stop hugging each other because you don't know where your friend's been. And then they touch you, then you touch us, and we go see grandma, grandpa. And then this is a big deal. And we need to get through this as a world, right? As the human race. And we will get through this. It's not the end of the world. It's not doomsday. We're going to get through it. But you better buck up and fly straight and realize that it is your greatest moment. This is your finest moment. This is, like I said yesterday, your Oscar Schindler moment, your Martin Luther King moment. This is time for you to step up and be strong and lead your family, lead your community, lead your state. Step up and be a Mother Teresa. She just rose her hand and said, count me in to care and love for people. That's what we're going to do at XP. We're going to care and love for people. We're going to help other people do whatever we can. So that's all I got to say.
Beautiful. I can never top Brent. I do want you guys to know that training is coming. This is why we want to do this every Saturday. We're going to bring people in. And by the way, all week, we will have trainers. I've already talked to them. National people that have made it through downturns. You will have to learn different sales techniques. It's just real life, right? I have scripts from the 80s I haven't used since the 80s. Well, bringing them back up. You know why? Because guess what? I'm going to need them. A lot of people go, what do you mean scripts? I just put a home on a market and it sells in 30 days. I said, yeah, you know, how are you going to talk a minute? Anyway, the bottom line is we don't want to scare you into anything. We want you to be very positive. I made it through the worst market ever in Texas history. I'm here to tell you, a lot of people left. I stayed. I learned my skills. I learned what to do. I worked hard. You're going to work harder than you've ever worked. Just so you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here to help you.
Over communicate. Call your clients. Ask them, you know, what they're involved in. You know, how you can help them. Just be as, you know, communicative as you can with everyone in your network. And, you know, I think it'll pay huge dividends. There's also, lots of ways to make money in the downturn, and we're going to get into those into training. But we've got over 1,000 people right now. I think close to 2,000 people on Facebook Live listening in. We've got a couple hundred people or 100 people on this webinar because it's maxed out, but we've got some questions here. So I'm just going to.
Scott, can I give a couple of health tips first before we get into the questions?
Yes, please do.
Or do you want to do the questions first?
No. Let's do that, and then matter of fact, while you're doing that, for those of you that are on the webinar, why don't you guys type your questions, and then we'll do our best to answer them.
Okay. First of all, I will tell you that this threat is real, and there's a lot of young people that are not taking it serious, and they don't realize the danger that is happening. There now are almost 12,000 deaths around the world in just the last 4 or 5 weeks, and that death toll is increasing. They have found that there's no cure at this point. However, what we're trying to do is slow the growth of the virus down, throw the advancement to slow it down so that the hospital staff, so the medical staff in this country and in the world can handle the number of cases. There are only 995,000 hospital beds in the United States. Sounds like a lot. However, if 5 million people get sick and need to have the beds, we don't have the ability to do that. So the methods that I'm going to talk about real briefly are very simple. They're duplicatable. They're helpful to be able to do to slow down the massive rise of cases so that the medical department can handle the people that are affected. What's happening in some cases in Italy and Spain and a few other places within Europe is that the hospitals are being overrun because people are not keeping a social distance. They're not doing the simple things to keep the virus from spreading person to person. And as a result of that, the hospitals have started to say, we're having to triage who we treat, who has a better chance of living, who is going to have more years left, who is going to be more productive. Imagine if you were in the health profession and you have to decide who you're going to give treatment to, which could literally lead to that person's death. So we need to slow down the spread of the virus, and the way to do it is literally to self-incubate, if you will, to self-isolate, to keep yourself away from other people. The virus lasts for about 4 or 5 days without touching a person. You need to wash your hands multiple times a day for at least 20 seconds, including your wrists, your fingernails, like you would see a doctor that does surgery, that kind of washing of your hands and wrists. When you want to stay 6 to 10 feet away from other people when you're out and about on the street, if you're allowed on the street. Right now in Puerto Rico, because of the lockdown, we are allowed to go to a financial institution or a bank. We can go to the hospital, we can get medical procedures, and we can go to a grocery store. That's it. They're telling us not to visit our older relatives. They're saying stay away from them because they are more susceptible than others, because they have an immune system that is not as strong as it was when they were younger. What we're doing now, Jennifer is wonderful at doing this. When we go shopping, we make sure that we stay 6 to 10 feet away from people as we're walking to the store. Other people here are noticing and respecting that. When we get to the grocery store, we're doing the very same thing. We pick up the mostly canned goods, and we're getting ourselves ready for 2 to 3 months of self-quarantine by having canned goods, shelf-stable items. When she gets back home, you're washing every individual vegetable with soap and water. That takes the virus off of it. Soap and water knocks the virus out, so we're told now by the medical profession. It stops it from spreading. So each can gets washed, each vegetable gets washed, the boxes, everything. The virus only lives, we're told, on cardboard or boxes for about 3 or 4 days. It may last 8 or 9 days on a metal can. It may last a little longer on a porcelain surface. Wash your sinks multiple times.
Rob, stop there, because I'm not too long. Don't give us the whole thing on the virus, because I'm about ready to go wash everything in my house.
Well, it's important. It's very important to do that. The very last thing is, and the most important thing to do, is not to congregate with other people.
Right.
Learn how to be virtual. Communicate by FaceTime with your kids if they're in other cities or states, with your parents or grandparents, with friends of yours. Do everything you possibly can virtually, if at all possible at this point, and to be safe. Read what the health department is telling you to do and follow that. It is not something that is, oh, it's over there. It's not us. It is us now. And it's very important to be safe, is all I'm saying.
Yep. Love it, Rob. On that note, April 9th, 5 p.m. Pacific, we have the #1 human being in North America voted by our Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal is kind of reports on business. The Wall Street Journal of the real estate industry is Inman News. Inman News said Kyle Whissel from San Diego, California is the #1 guy, broker, agent in North America out of 2 million. He's the guy. And he is leading, he has joined EXP. By the way, last month he earned $674,000 gross commission in a month, not the year, in a month. This guy's got it. And he's #1 in the country for use of video. What can you do right now during this downturn from your home? You get creative and use video. And so he's going to teach you how to do that on April 9th, along with the president of EXP Brokerage Operations, Stacy Onen, who's going to give an amazing talk. And so that is at 5 p.m. Pacific. You'll be getting more information about this. James Stroop is probably publishing it right now as we talk. But talk about a great online class we're having virtually that is safe to show you how to make videos from your house, from your backyard. Maybe you're out walking the dogs. It's okay to do a lot of that stuff here in Northern California, where I'm from. And you can make videos and still connect with your people and sell homes. Kyle Whissel, that is going to be amazing. Super excited about it. That's just one example. And I think this week we had 100 classes available. So you can self-educate. You're going to get through this. We're going to kill it. And be safe. Rob, thank you for that great information. It's really good. And I know I learned a lot from that. I'm going to never look at Apple the same way. I'm going to be very suspicious. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to watch that little sucker. That freaked me out, man. I thought bananas were safe. Okay, go ahead.
So we got a few questions. Someone wanted to know more about the training in EXP World. You know, how often it happens, and you know what it entails. So who wants to take that?
I'll take that one. We had over 100 sessions last week. When I say 100 sessions, I mean you're going to pick and choose which ones you are. What we've always done is take the best of the best from our agent base, and they teach what they know. Just like you said, Kyle Whissel is going to teach video, right? That's his expertise. I really believe in the next couple weeks and months, you're going to have to learn new skill sets. I mean, all the way from how to talk to people that can't sell their home, to how to stage homes, to every, I've been in this business a long time. And what I notice is that I talk to agents now, they don't even understand what an expired listing is, or what a for sale by owner is. What's a for sale by owner? Everything sells here. You mean something doesn't sell? So look for it. Look for it. If you're with EXP, I mean, we're just going to be doing this on steroids. The way we get out of a downturn, whatever V it is, and by the way, you'll thrive in a downturn if you train yourself correctly. Just going to learn. You're just going to have to learn.
I think it's important to talk about the culture of the training here too. You know, it is very different than what we're used to in the older fashioned models. Because I remember, you know, going to big events for real estate, and you hear from some of the top people in the industry, and you know, you love what you hear, and they give you tons of information like, oh, this is great, I'm going to start applying this, but what do I really need to do? And then at the end, you know, you have to pull out your credit card to really get the secret sauce, to really know how. And that doesn't happen at EXP. But what I love about this environment that we've created here is the icon agents, the mega producers, they're all giving back in the cloud and teaching and training because they're all shareholders here. And being a shareholder means you have stock. And when you have stock in this company together, you want to see it grow. You want to build it together. And the environment is radically different. So we're going to be teaching, and you're going to be learning from not people that have never done it, not people that are going to ask you for a credit card, but from people that are really in the trenches doing it and giving it to you. And you're going to get it for free. All you got to do is build your avatar, like Brent said, pop into the world and go get the training. So we're going to deliver that on a daily basis.
Very good.
Any other questions here? We'll look real quick, see if there's anything else. Again, guys, we plan on doing this once a week. We appreciate all of you being on here.
Maybe we could get Glenn Sanford or Dave Kennard or Jason Gessing on next Saturday morning. Hear from one of our executives at EXP or the founder. That'd be a cool thing, possibly. We'll see.
Great idea.
That would be great. I would love to get Glenn or Jason or Dave or, you know, Sheila, any of the great leaders of this company. We have so many, even, you know, our state brokers. I mean, they're all in the trenches. There's so many great people here.
Yep, absolutely.
Love being in business with all of you guys.
Eventbrite, that August 9th event. It is posted. I don't know how he does that. He does the Facebook stuff, but go find it.
Winter's here, guys. It's our time. This is our season. It's our time to build. There's an incredible opportunity. Don't be fear-based. Go out there and make it happen. And if you're struggling, get on the phone with a leader, talk to them, get through it. You know, we're here for you. We want to help you.
Dean, I'm about to ask, what would you say the open conversation to a small independent brokerage if you were going to talk to the owner broker?
Well, for the first time in your life, you have a place, you have a safe haven. I mean, we want to put our arms around them, Robbie, because it's going to be tough. I mean, I've been through it. When all of a sudden you're selling 50 homes a month in your office, independent office, and it goes to 20 homes a month, then to 10 homes a month, you can't see it coming. And the number one thing people said from the recession, Rob, that last one we had, is I did not act quick enough to save my people.
So what would you say opening line to talk to someone like that? I understand the reason. What would the conversation look like?
I just put my arm around him and say, hey, how's it going? Let me tell you, just so you know, I care about you. I want to listen to you. Where do you think it's coming? Ask them, where do they think it's coming? And if they don't see it's coming, we know it is. And say, I'd love to help you through the transition to help. Because we're just going to be helpers. You know, some people
we want them to come to the safe haven for realtors. Yeah. That's really what they're looking for.
Safe haven for everybody, brokers, realtors, everyone.
Brooks Chrysler, I believe I pronounced that correct, says, is Express Offers still alive? Are we still doing Express Offers? Open Door, Zillow, and Redfin have all stopped buying.
Well, they've stopped buying because maybe they don't know the market. You know, I think we are still going to have Express Offers. As far as I know, you're just going to have to be cautious in this market, right? It's going to be a cautious time because we don't know how far it'll dip. By the way, in most recessions, the prices of homes don't go down that much. It's a big misbelief. It did on the East Coast, West Coast when we got hit hard, but in the Midwest, prices didn't go down but about 1% in most of those markets. What hurts us is not the prices of homes, but guess what? I'm not going to buy right now. Boom, I'm canceling out. I'm not buying that second home. 14% of our homes, I think 14, 15% of our homes in America last year were bought by foreigners. When I say foreigners, Chinese investors, European investors. Guess what's going to happen now? Oh, not going to buy right now. So a lot of the buying is just going to go away. And that's why I really want you to look into that article. We'll send it to everybody on Yahoo Financial about doing forbiddens on the things you're doing. I want you guys as agents to act quick. I don't want you to go, oh no, I don't really need that right now. I'm still selling as many homes as I used to. Let me tell you, go down and apply for it, because I want you to make it through this market.
What have you seen happen to the luxury market what have you seen happen to luxury market in a shifting market?
Let me tell you the markets that get hit worse in these times. Second homes, anything that's a luxury. Luxury homes, I told you, 3 years in a row, we didn't sell a home in Dallas over $1 million.
Yeah.
The luxury market gets hit. Anything where there's a
farm and ranch.
Farm and ranch. You know, I used to talk to my farm and ranch guys, go, how they going? They go, nothing's selling. I said, there you go. There's the tip. There's the start. And then they go, second homes aren't selling. Well, why? Because I'm pulling back, right? Condos are usually the thing that kind of survives in this. When I say condos, if you're in a market where that's what sells, that's what will sell. But single family homes do the best. Single family homes do the best.
Gene, do you have anything you can add about the conversation we had with Glenn last night about the referral company side for realtors?
Yes, we will be setting up next week, hopefully, referral companies, because we want you as agents. If you go look at, I just can't, you know, my market has just died. Remember Brent way back, Modesto, California? Modesto, boom, no sales. Okay, I'm going to have to go do something else, but I want to help my real estate license. We're going to set up referral companies in all our major states. So you can park your license in a referral company, right? Not pay any dues to NAR, right? Just say, I'm not going to sell real estate right now. That's what you do in a referral company. You sign something and say, I'm not going to sell real estate. I'm just going to refer out. Keep your license active. Let me tell you, when this does come back, you want to be active. You want to be ready.
I'm going to ask a silly question, Gene. So you park it in a referral company. That means you can refer out your client and get a referral fee and actually earn money while not practicing real estate. Because for those of people who maybe aren't, you know, I was like, what does that mean? I think that's what that means.
Well, it's mainly because, as you know, in a lot of states, California especially, East Coast, West Coast, if I refer out $1 million sale, that's a good referral.
Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, Drew Johnston, my marketing director, posted the link. And Drew, do it again right now in the chat box to join Kyle Whistle, who is an EXP mega superstar broker out of San Diego, California, April 9th, 5 p.m. Pacific, and Stacy Onen. He posted that in the chat box. You can all register now, get the link. We're going to have thousands on that call. There will be thousands. This we started telling people about at 2:30 a.m. this morning. And last night, a few people, and I woke up. So this is very last minute. By the way, the president of EXP, Dave Kennord, has agreed to be a guest on this next Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I assume we're doing 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place, same bat channel, so to speak. Dave Kennord will join us on this. So thank you, Dave. Any final comments or thoughts, Scott?
Yeah, can we? I would suggest, can we put up on the chat again the link for the mortgage relief from Yahoo. I think it's money.yahoo.com/coronavirus. I think that's it.
And maybe somebody could put that on the Facebook Live thread too, because we got a lot of people there. Both of those threads, Kyle Whistle's event, and there you go. Thanks, Sold by Rhea, put that up. That's awesome. And then, so next week we will be on the same time, but it'll be a different channel. We're going to make sure that we can have at least 5,000 people on here next week. I don't know what happened. My apologies for that, but we'll get that set up right next week, and we'll still do Facebook Live. Guys, this is an open forum. This is a great opportunity to invite that broker friend of yours or that agent friend of yours to get an inside peek at what we're building and what we're doing at EXP. we will bring panelists on here that are going to be teaching and coaching on training through the downturn and how to build your business. We're going to give you step by step. We're not going to just tell you what to do. We're going to give you the step by step on how to do it. We're already got some panels working this week to put together those systems and trainings with some great people around the country that have done that before. So excited to deliver that in the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys. Brent, thank you as always. You're a rock star. Gene, my man, love you, brother. You know, Rob, you know, great things to you, and Jen there. I know you guys are taking great care of yourself, and we love you all. So just, you know, have an amazing week. Go out there and make a difference in people's lives this week, guys, and we'll see you here next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
You guys.